Good evening, you're watching Plain Speak with me, Kritsween, and we're coming to you live from CNN News 18 Prime Time Studio presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Ladies and gentlemen, a bitter political battle is being fought in Delhi in the last leg of campaigning for Delhi elections. In fact, the Delhi Dangal seems to have taken a quote-unquote poisonous discourse. Why we're saying this is because the story hasn't changed much from when in June 2024, amid a historic heat wave in the national capital, the Delhi government pinned the blame on neighbouring Haryana for not releasing adequate water. The heat wave may have become a story of the past, but this time as well, the Aam Aadmi Party has accused the neighbouring BJP-ruled state of spreading what they call water terrorism by deliberately contaminating water flowing into Delhi through Yamuna. It's not just a one-off statement, viewers, that can be passed off as a political allegation. These are grave charges, but equally stunning is the response from the BJP and the Delhi Jal Board. So here's how the Delhi battle has taken a poisonous turn. The Delhi government has made explosive claims that neighbouring Haryana has poisoned the water to sabotage elections, while the Haryana government says that there is no basis for Aam Aadmi Party's allegations. On the other hand, this is a very interesting version because it's coming in from the Delhi Jal Board. The statement of the Delhi Jal Board under the Aam Aadmi Party government, this board says that the Aam Aadmi Party is making factually incorrect claims. The Delhi government, while sharpening the attack, alleged that this could have caused mass genocide. In defence, the Haryana government has once again said that the Aam Aadmi Party is misleading people of the national capital, and the Delhi Jal Board to this claim that there is no basis for Aam Aadmi Party's allegations. But here's where it gets interesting. The Delhi government raised an alarm over the water quality in Yamuna and claimed that contamination is so severe that existing treatment plants are unable to purify the water, and that is what is disrupting the water supply across national capital. In response, the Haryana government in its defence has denied the allegations. It's emphasised the cultural and religious significance of Yamuna, asserting that they would never harm such an important resource. The Delhi Jal Board once again countering AAP's allegations and has warned that such statements would create unnecessary panic. Further, the Delhi government has accused the BJP of putting the lives of Delhi residents at risk by allegedly allowing the contamination of Yamuna. And in retaliation, the Haryana government has sought an apology from the Aam Aadmi Party, says baseless allegations have been levelled, and has warned the AAP that they will take legal action for defamation if the claims are not retracted. The Delhi Jal Board also says that this is an attempt to cause unnecessary fear and panic. And lastly, the Delhi government accusing Haryana of engaging in water terrorism ahead of elections. In response, Haryana government says that the Aam Aadmi Party has resorted to this cheap politics just to score political points ahead of Delhi battle, and the Delhi Jal Board has expressed concern that such inflammatory claims could damage relations between Delhi and Haryana, which could further complicate any efforts to address water crisis given the reliance that the Delhi has on neighbouring Haryana for its water supply. The whole controversy, viewers, sparks a debate around the source of water supply in Delhi and if enough is being done to save the residents from the inconvenience time and again. Here's how much Delhi relies on whom for water. So let's take you through the other states that Delhi relies on. Delhi's water supply heavily reliant on neighbouring states with a staggering 87%. If you add the 27 from Uttar Pradesh and 60 from Haryana, it leads to a total 80%. Majority, of course, 60% coming in from Haryana, which highlights the critical role that these two states play in keeping Delhi's taps running. However, Delhi also taps into its own resources. Though they make up a much smaller portion of its supply within Delhi, only 13% of the water comes from local sources. Processed wastewater contributes 40 million gallons per day, or 4.4% of the total supply. Further, groundwater makes up a larger share at 8.6%. So you can clearly see Delhi's water supply is heavily dependent on neighbouring states, and any disruption in these sources could have significant impact on cities' water availability. As Delhi and Haryana water war once again descends into a predictable political squabble between the ruling AAP and the Bharatiya Janata Party, let's run a timeline that highlights this blame game, since this is not a new story, not a first of its kind, like I said. Let's take you to the disputes over water supply in the national capital. Every time National capital has faced a water crisis in the recent past. If we go back to May 2024, the Aam Aadmi Party government accused Haryana of providing Delhi with record low water supply, raising concerns about the availability of water for the residents of the national capital. Cut to June 2024. Once again, tensions escalated in June as the Aam Aadmi Party alleged Haryana was intentionally withholding Delhi's share of water, further straining the relationship between the two states. And to date, Jan 2025, we're once again seeing the Aam Aadmi Party make very serious allegations, call it water terrorism, and has blamed Haryana for deliberately contaminating Delhi's water supply. And this has only intensified the conflict. Let's next talk about the allegations over pollution in Yamuna. It was in October 2024, the Aam Aadmi Party accused Haryana of causing ammonia contamination in Yamuna that serves as a critical river that provides water to Delhi. Further, in October, the Aam Aadmi Party broadened the allegations, accused the neighbouring states, including Haryana, which were contributing to Yamuna pollution, it said, by releasing untreated waste into the river. And November 2024 is when the Aam Aadmi Party claimed that the pollution in Yamuna was part of a deliberate conspiracy orchestrated by the BJP to harm Delhi's water quality and create a crisis. And now, in 2025 Jan, once again history repeating itself. So the question we ask is whether or not this goes beyond politics in the national capital, given we're just days away from the Delhi battle. Most certainly a bitter fight being fought out between all parties concerned, especially the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. We'll take that up in just a bit. Here are the top voices so far.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ये बताना चाहूंगी, इतनी गंदी राजनीति मत करो।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की हरियाणा की सरकार ने दिल्ली में यमुना से आने वाले पानी में जहर मिला के भेज दिया है।
इस सरासर झूठे और घटिया बयान के लिए वो हरियाणा और दिल्ली की जनता से तुरंत माफी मांगे, वरना हम उसके खिलाफ मानहानि का दावा करेंगे।
I want to quickly go across to our guest joining us this evening. Anil Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Preeti Sharma, Menon, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you to the both of you for joining us live on the broadcast. We'll take this up with our other experts as well. But to begin with the political fight we've been witnessing the last 24 hours, how do you respond, Mr. Anil Gupta? We've seen detailed interactions on part of several BJP leaders with top election commission officials, but these are grave charges indeed.
Yeah, good evening to you and all the viewers. See, Sri Kejriwal ji has a habit of telling continuous lies, and today he has done a blunder. I am giving you and showing you some of the reports. This is the report of Delhi government, of the latest report, which shows when Yamuna enters Delhi, their own government reports, that shows when Yamuna enters Delhi at Palla, the dissolved oxygen is 6. The fecal coliform is 1,200.
Mr. Gupta, I'll give you your time to respond. Since we're talking about election commission and how the BJP has raised this already, the BJP delegation has just walked out of the election commission office. So we need to quickly cut across and listen into whether or not the BJP leaders break their silence over the issue.
आयोग को उनके भाषण का पूरा अंश दिया, जो भाषण का अंश बिल्कुल झूठ बोलता है कि दिल्ली में कोई पानी में जहर घोला जा रहा है। उस भाषण के अंश में जिस प्रकार से द्वेषपूर्ण, जिस प्रकार से विध्वंसक और जिस प्रकार से एक अलगाववादी बात की गई है, वो चुनाव आयोग की मर्यादा, मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, फेयर इलेक्शन प्रैक्टिसेस के एकदम खिलाफ है। और ये वही भाषा है जो वो पहले कहा करते थे कि अनार्किस्ट पार्टी से आते हैं। इलेक्शन कमीशन ने हमारी बात का पूरा संज्ञान लिया है और हमें आश्वासन भी दिया है कि चुनाव में जिस प्रकार की मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट का पालन होना चाहिए, ये भाषा उस मर्यादा को तोड़ने वाली है। और हमने चुनाव कमीशन को आग्रह किया है कि अपने जो पहले की नजीरें हैं उसको देखते हुए वो इस पर कार्रवाई करने का पूरा तथ्यों को जान करके कार्रवाई करे। और हमें विश्वास है कि हमें चुनाव आयोग से न्याय मिलेगा। मैं माननीय निर्मला जी से कहना चाहूँगा कि वो अपना विषय आपके साथ
Thank you, Bhupendra ji. Today, a delegation from Bharatiya Janata Party, in which my senior colleague Bhupendra Yadav ji, the Chief Minister of Haryana, Saini ji, Delhi Pradesh BJP's President, Sri Virendra Sachdeva ji, and the media coordinators were with us. We came to protest and submit a petition to the Election Commission on the very unfair, irresponsible and violative of Election Code of Conduct statement made by the former Chief Minister of Delhi, Sri Arvind Kejriwal. It is a very dangerous statement. It is dangerous for all of us. It is dangerous for India's federal structure and the electoral politics. But it is not dangerous for him, who is a self-proclaimed anarchist. So it comes easily for him to speak irresponsibly. But the statement that he made has actually brought in fear in the minds of the public in Delhi. Think of water in Delhi, people get a sense of fear, saying, is there poison in it? There cannot be a more irresponsible statement made by somebody who held the position of Chief Minister till recently against another Chief Minister from Haryana.
All right, so the BJP delegation comprising Chief Minister of Haryana along with top BJP leaders, not just from the national capital. You saw Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also detail, everything that transpired during that interaction with the Election Commission officials. They've lodged a strong protest. Mr. Gupta, you were making a point. Our other guests have also joined in. Ashpreet Khadial, spokesperson of the Congress, with us this evening, along with Dipinder Kapoor, who will be sharing a neutral perspective on what this means for the citizens of the national capital. But Mr. Gupta, please complete your point. You were saying.
But I was thinking that he is very dangerous in nature. I'm showing you this report of the Delhi government, latest report, which shows when Yamuna enters Delhi, it is within the parameters. The dissolved oxygen is between 6 to 9, the fecal coliform is 1,200. But when it leaves Delhi at Okhla barrage, the dissolved oxygen is 0 and the fecal coliform is 8,40,000. That means he himself, the Delhi government, is culprit. When the Yamuna is leaving, the 37 STPs in Delhi are not treating. The 22 drains are directly discharging Yamuna, and when they are giving back the Yamuna to Haryana and UP, it is just like a dead body. Because this report says the Yamuna is dead. And now I tell you, as per the Yamuna treaty, 1,000 cusecs minimum e-flow is maintained at Yamuna, and in return, they have to give 600 cusecs report. But what they give to UP and Haryana at Okhla, it is a dirty water. It is just a dead river they give. And they are blaming the Haryana. They are blaming bluntly because they want to create panic in Delhi. In fact, when you check the report of Delhi government, 37 STP plants, 22 STP plants are not functioning. They are sending untreated water effluent to the Yamuna. The 22 drains directly discharging into the Yamuna, that is making the Yamuna a dirty river, and that's why they should be penalized and criminalized as per the treaty, because you have to give back the 600 cusecs water to the Haryana at Okhla. One more thing. This is a letter of the Delhi Jal Board CEO. What she said, I am just at the court of repetition reading out. These statements are factually incorrect without any basis and misleading. The fact of the matter is that DJB regularly monitors incoming water quality and regulates supplies depending on the various parameters. This is the statement of the CEO of the Delhi Jal Board. And what just want to create the panic in the Delhi, he is making these false and dangerous statements.
Okay, you're creating unnecessary confusion in the minds of the Delhi voter. All of this, in fact, is being done, Preeti, by the Aam Aadmi Party to score a political point. But the question still remains. It's the Delhi Jal Board that's called these allegations completely baseless.
I'm glad you brought that up. You just now played the bites of the BJP delegation that went and met the election commissioner. Just before that, the Delhi Chief Minister Atishi and the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann Sahab had both gone and met the election commission. And in the morning, Atishi ji sent a letter to the Delhi election commission, in which she's attached the same letter that you are referring to, where the gentleman from the BJP just read out a line. I will continue reading. You will have to allow me that, because you have spoken about this. So let me continue reading what is written in that letter. After prioritizing on what AAP should do as an politically, which is none of the business of an officer, what they go on to say, that Delhi Jal Board water treatment plants are designed to treat ammonia up to 1 ppm. They can even manage up to 2 to 2.5 ppm. They've given that specifically. But then they go on to say, presently the ammonia is around 6.5 ppm in River Yamuna at the Wazirabad pond. In the same letter, they are also saying that Haryana government is going to make sewage lines and STP plants as per NGT orders. So they are making excuses for Haryana that in the future Haryana is going to treat the water that is coming into Delhi. That's fine. But what is most important is, in this very letter, the Delhi Jal Board has admitted that the ammonia level is 6.5 ppm. I wish you can zoom into it and show it. I'm pointing out.
While that admission has been made by the Delhi Jal Board, Preeti, the question being asked is, why pin the blame on Haryana government?
You never let me complete my point. So this is happening when the water enters from Haryana to Delhi. We have to clean the Yamuna. We accept that. Okay. There is no two ways about it. We've put the sewage lines down now. We have to create STP plants where the sewage lines, we have to divert them to the STP plants so that sewage doesn't flow into the Yamuna. We accept that. The Yamuna needs cleaning on the Delhi river banks. We accept it. But water flows in from Haryana. Delhi is a landlocked city. It does not have its own resources. Tomorrow you will tell Delhi should have its own coal mines. It doesn't. Okay? The water comes in from other states. The water doesn't belong to Haryana, it doesn't belong to Uttar Pradesh, it doesn't belong to Delhi, it's national water. Now that water which is coming in usually has maximum 2 to 2.5 ammonia levels. Since 14 January, it has been rising and now it has reached 7. This is unprecedented.
The water does come from Haryana. We've spoken about. One second, Preeti. No, you need to allow me to come in as well.
Give me 30.
1 second. No, I have a counter question to that. The water has come in from Haryana, and I do agree, and we've broken down all of those statistics. But the water has also come from the drainage system, right, in the national capital itself. So there is toxic discharge and rainwater that is to be held responsible as well. How do you identify which is the cause of the problem here, is what I'm asking you.
We are talking about upstream of Wazirabad barrage. We are talking about where the water, when it enters from Haryana, that is where the treatment plant is, where the water is purified. And the treatment plant can only treat the water if the ammonia level is under, ideally 1, but under 3. When it goes beyond 3, the plant is now not working. It cannot work when the ammonia level is 7. The plant cannot treat that water. It will have to wait for the ammonia level to recede, and that will only happen if more water flows into the river, which is not poisoned water. So that is the result that we are facing right now, that the ammonia is causing the water treatment plants to shut down. They are shut down right now in Delhi, and Delhi Jal Board in the same letter. You know, everybody is quoting only the gyan that the Delhi Jal Board officer gave about what AAP should behave. But why are you not quoting the rest of it, where she is admitting that the water treatment plants have shut down because the ammonia level is 6.5? And it's not the first time that Delhi is being held to ransom by the BJP. They do it with everything. This time parley burling has increased in Madhya Pradesh. It has increased in states surrounding Delhi. In Punjab, we've brought it down. There is no contribution, no help from the central government or the neighboring BJP states to reduce problems which Delhi and the rest of NCR and the rest of the region face. We faced the same problem during COVID times when oxygen was, we had to go to the Supreme Court to fight to get oxygen for Delhi.
Preeti and Mr.
So
Gupta,
this behavior of the BJP...
I'm sorry, but the residents of the national capital are extremely disappointed because it's an endless back and forth between the two political parties. Not too long ago, it was the BJP that said that the Aam Aadmi Party has failed to upgrade these plants. Dipinder ji, where does the solution lie and how do we really clear out this confusion? The BJP also extremely confident of the fact that the Haryana government has nothing to do with this, that this is actually dirty, toxic discharges through drain water that is polluting the Yamuna. There's an admission being made by the Aam Aadmi Party that lots more needs to be done around pollution in Yamuna and how, you know, there is an overall approach that's needed. But who is to be blamed here as per you? What do you think?
Preeti, I don't think it's a matter of finding blame here. We need to go with data and facts. So the water is polluted when it is coming to Delhi, then there should be evidence for that, both in Haryana as well as in Delhi, which we currently neither Haryana is showing. And of course, the AAP government is saying it is polluted, it is ammonia levels are high. But if the BJP government has to refute this, then, you know, that data has to be there. And then there is the NGT, which sits over all matters related to Yamuna. So it should not be broken into a battle between one party or the other, which unfortunately it is being made out to. It's a serious matter. If the ammonia levels are high, then we have to address that, which unfortunately is very sad is not happening. And, you know, treated wastewater is there, and that's another issue. And STP is not working, that's another issue. That's an issue of wastewater. It has little to do with the drinking water issue of ammonia at the moment. But in the long term, Delhi Jal Board and any government in Delhi would have to do something to reuse the treated wastewater. And also to prevent...
But it is an unending cycle, Dipinder ji, isn't it? Because the moment, you know, your water is... the concentration of ammonia is so high that the treatment plant cannot serve the purpose. There comes the problem of immediate water supply crisis, and that's what we've seen time and again in the national capital. Ashpreet, would you want to quickly come in before I go across to Preeti once again for a counter?
Definitely. Number one, a delegation of the Congress party has met with the Election Commission of India, and we have forwarded a complaint that if the Aam Aadmi Party is lying about this, an action ought to be taken against them. And if the Bharatiya Janata Party has actually done this, then an action ought to be taken against them. Now, how do we ascertain who's lying and who's not? We have demanded a time-bound investigation be done into this matter through a former Supreme Court judge, and it be done within 24 hours so that the culprit could be brought to justice, because they can't take the people of Delhi for a ride. Number three, we want to ask a couple of questions to the Aam Aadmi Party. What is the basis of this allegation that has been made by the former Chief Minister? Is there an FSL report that has happened? Has some sort of investigation been done? Has anyone seen it? Is there any recording of it? Is there a drone footage? On what basis is the Aam Aadmi Party making such a big allegation? Number two, does the Aam Aadmi Party have a pattern or not of lying and playing victim card to gain sympathy and votes before elections? The Aam Aadmi Party has done that on many, many occasions. They have lied, they have tried to play the victim card. Number three, what does the Aam Aadmi Party have to say about the Delhi Jal Board that has contradicted the claims of the Aam Aadmi Party? And Mr. Kejriwal is someone who does not have credibility in his words. He had also said that Yamuna would be cleaned in entirety. It's been so many years, they could not clean Yamuna, and he has admitted to the fact that they failed upon this. So how do we believe the words of a person who has lied to the people on their face? And number five, the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, given that we are assuming, since the investigation is yet to happen, but if the Bharatiya Janata, as far as the pattern of the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, the history of the BJP is concerned, the BJP has been very vindictive. The Bharatiya Janata Party has been discriminatory towards the opposition ruled states. I'll give an example of Punjab also. For Punjab, they have stopped many of funds, RDF, NHM, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan Fund. They did not allow the tableau to happen for the last
we have limited time, Ashpreet. We're not getting into all of that. And there's plenty of days for you to contest the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP on those other issues. But keeping our focus, to the issue at hand here, Preeti, the question that's being raised by the Congress and the BJP is, you've had 10 plus years to really crack down on the problem. You've made an admission on it today, and I'm glad that you're standing by your statement that lots more needs to be done. But you had so much time to yourself. With what confidence are you seeking vote in the name of, promising a cleaner Yamuna? in the national
after
capital? And what about alternative sources of water? What are we doing in the national capital to make Delhi more self-reliant?
And why this only before the election? Why did this not come here before?
Why
Why did they never
is
say
he
this?
speaking when you've asked
Preeti.
me? Is his name also
Ashpreet, she's
Preeti?
heard you.
Is
Yes,
his name
yes.
also
Preeti, go ahead.
Okay, I just thought maybe his name is also Preeti.
You
The
take
Delhi
a lot of drama
Chief
with
Minister
often proven
is
Okay,
quoting,
Ashpreet, please,
the
limited
Delhi
time, let her
Chief
respond.
Minister is quoting the CEO of the Jal Board, whom everybody is now, so, keen to quote, and that is what the Delhi Chief Minister Atishi has quoted. The Chief Executive Officer of the Delhi Jal Board, in her signed letter, is saying presently the ammonia is around 6.5 ppm in River Yamuna at Wazirabad Pond. Despite dilution
Preeti, the
with
source
CLC and
is being
DFB
contested
water,
here.
Delhi
What
Jal Board
proof-
water treatment plants at Wazirabad and
What
Chandrawal
proof
could not
was
be operated.
provided
These are
by the
source
Aam
plants.
Aadmi Party
Where the water-
when it was making these allegations in the first place? And what about the source?
This exactly
How do you
is it.
verify?
Where
How do
she
you
said
verify the
this is
fact
the
that
source.
Haryana,
This is where
BJP
the
ruled
water
Haryana is to be
enters.
blamed?
This is because ammonia enters the water when the chemical effluents from the factories in Haryana dispose their sewage into the water. This does not come from the other sewage, this comes from chemical effluents which are coming down from Haryana, and these water sources are at the Delhi-Haryana border. These water treatment plants are at that border, and these water treatment plants are
What's
not
the
able to
basis of
process
the
it
report?
Where's
because
the
it's coming
scientific?
full of ammonia.
That's what
Basis of
Ashpreet
the
is
report.
asking.
Fact
Where's,
which is there,
where's the
which is the
scientific
Delhi
proof
Jal Board
backing
has
your
said.
claim? Where's
Not
the
just
scientific
us,
proof
but
backing
that's
your
not
claim
the
is what
issue.
is being asked.
The-
But since I don't have too much time, your point has
The
been noted. Let the
scientific proof
BJP
is what the Delhi Jal Board is
let the
saying,
BJP representative respond. Mr. Gupta.
No, let me just complete one
I'm-
point.
I'm just
No,
showing-
we got
I'm
into
showing-
this Delhi Jal Board.
I'm
But
showing
there's
a
one
report.
thing that I want to
That is
say.
all that they
Arvind
Please allow me
Kejriwal
to
is
speak.
the only person who
Please
funded
allow me to
Delhi.
speak.
You're pinning the
Then-
blame squarely on the neighboring Haryana,
Problem be solved.
and you're
Please allow me to
you're
speak.
citing the Delhi Jal Board. I've heard you. Let Mr. Gupta respond to that. Mr. Gupta.
I'm showing you a report
But it is only
which is
Arvind
of the
Kejriwal
Delhi
who's raising
government.
this
Which is
concern.
of the Delhi government. Please don't interfere, please. I'm showing you a report. You can zoom it out. This is the latest report of the Delhi government, which says the quality of water at Palla is quite impressive. Is fit for drinking. You can check the report. You can zoom it out. So this is the false narrative they're setting. One more thing.
This is Jan
She's reading the
14 to
she's
today's
reading the half letter. Let me just at the cost of repetition, read in front of you the last para. The matter is being brought to your attention given the fact that such false statements lead to fear mongering among city residents and also adversely impact relation with the upper state of Haryana. Given that this matter is likely to affect inter relation, these facts may be brought to the attention of Honorable LG in terms of the transition. This means the Shilpa Shindezi has clearly mentioned that these are the panic statements, these are not. And I'm showing you the report of the STB also, which clearly says, this is the Delhi government report I'm showing, that 32 STBs are directly discharging the untreated sewage into the Yamuna. These 22 drains are directly discharging. And one more thing, there are 4 sources of raw water to Delhi. One is the Munak Nair.
Besides, I just think there's
one is
need
the
for
Yamuna.
innovative and sustainable water management. If every time the Aam Aadmi Party and if the Aam Aadmi Party were to continue in the national capital, Preeti, then you need to come out with an alternative, and blaming a neighboring Haryana or Uttar Pradesh, for instance, is not going to solve your problem, and that's really not a confidence building measure that you're going to be able to resort to when it comes to seeking votes. That's the limited point, but let's see in terms of proof, what is it that the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP are able to submit. Preeti, many thanks for joining us this evening. Thanking the gentleman on the broadcast as well. We need to talk about this breaking news response that's come in before we take a very quick break. Lok Sabha LOP Rahul Gandhi, while holding a mega rally in Delhi's Parpadganj, has also mounted the Sheesh Mahal attack on the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal. So you have the Congress as well raking the Sheesh Mahal controversy. He further said the liquor scam happened under Kejriwal's watch. So that is Rahul Gandhi once again resorting to the Sheesh Mahal attack, something that we've heard more often than not from the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, remember just a few days ago, the BJP also released a 14-minute long video of the quote-unquote Sheesh Mahal and said this is the kind of expenditure that the Sheesh Mahal has undergone at the peak of COVID-19. And Rahul Gandhi almost reiterating the same in the national capital while holding this mega rally. So yes, the war of words only getting bitter by the day. Many thanks for staying with us. We'll be right back after a quick break. On the other side, we talk about A big boost to India-US ties. Donald Trump says the Prime Minister is likely to visit the United States in February. We get you details on what's on the agenda in just a bit. Be right back.
शाम से इस जगह पर रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन हो रहा है। बुराड़ी में कल रात तकरीबन 7 बजे एक 4 मंजिला इमारत गिर गई और उसके बाद से लेकर अब तक राहत और बचाव का काम चल रहा है। इस वक्त सीधी तस्वीरें मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ। ये जो तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं, ये टॉप एंगल शॉट्स हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया पर कि किस तरीके से ये पूरी बिल्डिंग जो है वो ढह गई। और आप फिलहाल देख सकते हैं कि तकरीबन 4 से 5 जेसीबी है जिनकी मदद से मलबे को हटाने का काम यहाँ पर किया जा रहा है। और साथ ही साथ आप देखेंगे दूसरी तरफ इंडिया के जो लोग हैं वो लोग हाथ से मलबे को हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। यहाँ से तकरीबन 13 लोगों को रेस्क्यू कर लिया गया है और बताया जा रहा है कि 2 लोगों की मौत भी हो गई है। और ऐसे में फिलहाल जो यहाँ पर काम चल रहा है वो मलबे को हटाकर क्या कोई और लोग नीचे हो सकते हैं उनकी खोजबीन को लेकर चल रहा है। फिलहाल 13 लोगों का रेस्क्यू किया गया है और उसके बाद से कोई रेस्क्यू नजर नहीं आया है। लेकिन हटाने के बाद ये देखा जाएगा कि कोई इसके अंदर तो नहीं फंसा हुआ है। अब तक 2 लोगों की मौत की खबर यहाँ से आ रही है। ऊपर से आ गए। लोगों की डेथ हो गई तो उसको अपडेटेड कर दो। ऑफिशियली नहीं हुआ ना। और उन्होंने कुछ बोल ही पाए थे बिल्डिंग तुरंत हम भागे भागे। देखिए अभी चुनाव का माहौल है। विधायक संजीव शाम से इस जगह पर रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन हो रहा है।
Welcome back. In a renewed boost to the India-US ties, President Donald Trump has confirmed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to visit the White House for a meeting in the month of February. A meeting with President Donald Trump could serve as a major step in furthering strengthening ties between the two nations, especially with the ongoing global and regional challenges. Donald Trump's statement followed his telephonic conversation with Prime Minister Modi, their first since Trump was sworn in for a second term on the 20th January. The call came against the backdrop of a lot of buzz in diplomatic circles about the Indian side working on an early meeting between the two leaders, especially in the run-up to the host of announcements that have been made by Donald Trump already. But since the equation between the two leaders goes far beyond diplomacy, let's take you through key moments that has led to a deep bonhomie between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. Remember, it was in June 2017, the first official meeting between the Prime Minister and President Trump, which marked the beginning of a strong personal rapport between the two leaders and set the tone for future collaborations between the two nations. Cut to September 2019, the United States hosted the Howdy Modi event in Texas, which saw over 50,000 Indian Americans gather to show support for the growing relationship between the two nations. This was a significant public display of the deepening ties between not just the two nations, but the two leaders as well. And in February 2020, in a reciprocal gesture, India hosted a massive Namaste Trump event in Ahmedabad, where the president was warmly received. And once again, the showcase, the strong personal and diplomatic connection between the two leaders. Now, there's lots on the agenda, but one thing being spoken of widely is India-US defense cooperation. So far, here's what's happened. Since 2008, India has contracted more than $20 billion worth of defense articles from US, signaling a growing military partnership aimed at modernizing India's defense capabilities. In 2023, the two nations launched the Bilateral Defense Acceleration Ecosystem, a strategic initiative designed to accelerate the development, production and integration of defense technologies between India and US, once again bolstering military collaboration. In 2023, once again, General Electric proposed to produce the F414 engine in India, which is crucial for enhancing India's fighter jet capabilities. And in a landmark deal, India approved the purchase of 31 MQ-9B drones and UAVs from US for $4 billion. In 2024, not too long ago, US notified Congress of a planned sale to India of 30 advanced radio systems, which will improve India's military communications and interoperability with the US and other allies. The US also offered India to purchase the advanced combat aircraft, which could further strengthen India's air force capabilities and provide access to cutting-edge technology. So there's really lots being spoken of. We'll have to wait for the month of February and when that official meeting, if at all, takes place. For now, we head into a short break. On the other side, a very interesting reaction that's coming from Prime Minister Modi while praising the Coldplay concert in India, highlighting India's great potential for these mega events. We'll get you more details and decode what this really means for the Indian economy going forward. Be right back.
Co-powered by
बुराड़ी में कल रात तकरीबन 7 बजे एक 4 मंजिला इमारत गिर गई और उसके बाद से लेकर अब तक राहत और बचाव का काम चल रहा है। इस वक्त सीधी तस्वीरें मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ। ये जो तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं, ये टॉप एंगल शॉट्स हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया पर कि किस तरीके से ये पूरी बिल्डिंग जो है वो ढह गई। और आप फिलहाल देख सकते हैं कि तकरीबन 4 से 5 जेसीबी है जिनकी मदद से मलबे को हटाने का काम यहाँ पर किया जा रहा है। और साथ ही साथ आप देखेंगे दूसरी तरफ एनडीआरएफ के जो लोग हैं वो लोग हाथ से भी मलबे को हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। यहाँ से तकरीबन 13 लोगों को रेस्क्यू कर लिया गया है और जिसमें से बताया जा रहा है कि 2 लोगों की मौत भी हो गई है। और ऐसे में फिलहाल जो यहाँ पर काम चल रहा है वो मलबे को हटाकर क्या कोई और लोग नीचे दबे हो सकते हैं, उनकी खोजबीन को लेकर चल रहा है। और फिलहाल 13 लोगों का रेस्क्यू किया गया है। उसके बाद से कोई रेस्क्यू फिलहाल होता हुआ नजर नहीं आया है, लेकिन अब ये मलबा हटाने के बाद ये देखा जाएगा कि कोई इसके अंदर तो नहीं फंसा हुआ है। अब तक 2 लोगों की मौत की खबर यहाँ से आ रही है।
ऊपर से
दो लोगों की डेथ हो गई तो उसको अपडेटेड कर दो।
ऑफिशियली नहीं हुआ ना
और उन्होंने कुछ बोल ही पाए थे बिल्डिंग है तुरंत हम भागे।
देखिए अभी चुनाव का माहौल है, विधायक संजीव
शाम से इस जगह पर रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन हो रहा है। बुराड़ी में कल रात तकरीबन 7 बजे एक 4 मंजिला इमारत गिर गई और उसके बाद से लेकर अब तक राहत और बचाव का काम चल रहा है। इस वक्त सीधी तस्वीरें मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ। ये जो तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं, ये टॉप एंगल शॉट्स हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया पर कि किस तरीके से ये पूरी बिल्डिंग जो है वो ढह गई। और आप फिलहाल देख सकते हैं कि तकरीबन 4 से 5 जेसीबी है जिनकी मदद से मलबे को हटाने का काम यहाँ पर किया जा रहा है। और साथ ही साथ आप देखेंगे दूसरी तरफ एनडीआरएफ के जो लोग हैं वो लोग हाथ से भी मलबे को हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। यहाँ से तकरीबन 13 लोगों को रेस्क्यू कर लिया गया है और जिसमें से बताया जा रहा है कि 2 लोगों की मौत भी हो गई है। और ऐसे में फिलहाल जो यहाँ पर काम चल रहा है वो मलबे को हटाकर क्या कोई और लोग नीचे
Welcome back. You're watching Plain Speak. Viewers, if you're active on social media handles like Instagram, X, or even scroll through reels on YouTube, all you see is concert goers and Coldplay fans sing praises for the live concerts by the British band both in Mumbai and Ahmedabad. And that seems to have caught the attention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well, as he too highlighted the quote-unquote fabulous pictures of Coldplay's concerts in India and said India has a massive scope for live concerts. He said he expected the state governments and the private sector to focus on infrastructure and skills to give a boost to the concert economy sector. The Prime Minister said at the Uttar Odisha Make in Odisha Conclave 2025 in Bhubaneswar. He spoke of all of this, and while his appeal may have gone to investors and big private sector players, the idea wasn't lost on anyone and made us rethink about this gradual evolution that India's economy is witnessing in terms of staging itself as one of the key destinations for these global concerts. Do remember, it was not too long ago that Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh also met Prime Minister Modi, and the two discussed India's potential to host music festivals bigger than Coachella. They shared visions for elevating India's cultural scene globally, and those pictures have still been going viral on social media. But let's take you through some figures. Here's the kind of revenue generated by Coldplay in its recent India tour. In 2023, for instance, Coldplay's concert in India generated a staggering 88 billion in revenue. Looking ahead, projections suggest that Coldplay's concerts in the two cities, Ahmedabad and Mumbai that is, could have generated up to 143 billion rupees. This expected growth reflects not only the band's global appeal but also the expanding concert economy in India, which is gaining momentum with increased investments in infrastructure and event management. Coldplay's success underscores the vast commercial potential of live performances in India, setting the stage for more high-profile international artists to perform going forward in the country. But this isn't a one-off, viewers. Overall, India's music industry is booming, both in terms of digital streaming and live events. India is now the second largest audio streaming market globally, driven by the country's massive digital audience and growing interest in music across all genres. The Indian music industry is also a major economic force, generating an impressive 12,000 crore rupees annually through streaming, music sales and other associated channels. In fact, India continues to be a hotspot for live music, with 27,000 live events expected to be held by November 2024. We've already seen Coldplay and several others add to the list already, and this once again showcases the increasing demand for large-scale concerts and performances in the country. Concert-related spending in India is also expected to surge to $60 billion by 2025, underscoring the significant economic impact of live events on tourism, hospitality and local businesses. India's live entertainment market is projected to grow $1.7 billion by 2026. This too indicates a bright future for the country as a key player in the global entertainment landscape. So it's the right time to take this discussion forward. We've opened our corner lines as well, so please feel free to dial in and share your thoughts and tell us whether you think India is now making it to being a concert economy, and what really is the road ahead for us. What do you make of your experiences, if at all you've attended any of these global concerts here in India? Call us as we decode how India is a lucrative concert destination. We'll talk about that, but first up, let's listen in to that comment that was made by the Prime Minister earlier today.
लाइव कंसर्ट्स के लिए भारत में कितना स्कोप है? दुनिया के बड़े-बड़े कलाकार, बड़े-बड़े आर्टिस्ट भी भारत की तरफ आकर्षित हो रहे हैं। कंसर्ट इकोनॉमी से टूरिज्म भी बढ़ता है और बड़ी संख्या में जॉब्स क्रिएट होती है। मेरा राज्यों से, प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आग्रह है कि कंसर्ट इकोनॉमी के लिए जरूरी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर फोकस करें, जरूरी स्किल्स पर फोकस करें।
Before we go across to our viewers who will be dialing in shortly, I want to quickly introduce Image Guru Dilip Cherian on the broadcast, along with Shailendra Singh, founder Percept and also founder of Sunburn, one of the first few initiatives that really brought in this concept to India. If I can begin with you, Shailendra, how far have we come as a nation? You know, you've been tracking this journey, and it's been a sight not to miss out, isn't it? I mean, look at these visuals and the splendid turnout that we saw at Ahmedabad. Of course, it can cater for as many people, but this industry surely is booming.
For sure, like in Hindi, they say "der se aaye, lekin durust aaye." better late than never. Welcome to the party, Mr. Prime Minister. Well, we started this initiative in 2007, and let me, be honest about this. Need 176 permissions to do an event in this country. I've done about 7,000 gigs in this country across, all states, all cities. And D.Y. Patil that you saw Coldplay in, we did an event there with 100,000 people in 2015 and 17. So it's not new, but yes, it is great that the Prime Minister understands and identifies the opportunity of something called music tourism. I won't call it concert, just restricted to concert. Like your statistics just showed about the entire music tourism is a business, just like sports tourism in South Africa and Australia. Those two nations are built on sports tourism. And therefore, I feel that the potential for music tourism is immense. We have the youngest population on the planet, but like Mr. Modi himself correctly suggested, that we need to go bottom up and top down. So infrastructure is a reality. I feel that the government and the Prime Minister really wants to make this happen. I speak with experience of 5,000 events in India. He needs to make this a central government initiative. Each state, we are the United States of India. Each state has his own philosophy. That's why Diljit was upset with his concert in Punjab.
But he's receiving a lot of flack for it, because given the success Coldplay's enjoyed, there's a troll brigade after him as to how dare you undermine our infrastructure when Coldplay's been able to put up an equally splendid show.
Quickly look, the stadium that Coldplay is being talked in, all the visuals that you're showing is Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. It's an alcohol-free state. Nothing can go wrong in a stadium that has the Prime Minister's name on it. But India needs to rise up to the opportunity. You've shown some phenomenal statistics. I hope they all come true. But I feel that infrastructure, top-down, bottom-up, is a necessity, and we have to understand that when cricket is a religion in this country, you build cricket stadiums. When you want to play cricket. So if you really want to do concerts and concert economy, Mr. Modi will have to tell his ministry and his central government to allow the states to build infrastructures. You'll have to fund them. Private bodies doing stadium build-up is going to take a long time. So if you want to make this happen like Mr. Modi wants, he's got to take the bull by the horn and make it happen.
Okay. Dilip Sherian, this is also part of our broader cultural economic phenomena, and we're slowly seeing, a redefinition of the entertainment industry. But what changes for you when, for instance, a prime minister, of the country starts taking personal interest in ensuring that this space is also equally pampered? It's receiving funds, there's an infrastructure development that takes place around it. But yeah, like I said, as simple as just pampering this industry, how important do you think it is?
I think pampering the industry requires just one very big thing. Getting government and bureaucracy to move out of the way. Shailendra mentioned the need for funding, locations and things, but I think there's enough private investment that's ready to do it. The only problem is the number of rules and the number of permissions it takes. The entertainment tax people should have made a huge amount of money if the numbers that we're talking about at the Coldplay concert are correct. And they need to make sure that aside from paying their taxes and ensuring a broad sense of safety, they get out of the way and don't make the performers and the organizers have to run around and give hundreds, thousands and thousands of tickets free. Because in India, we have a freebie culture, which actually is the killer of all these concerts and much of the entertainment industry. There's a huge opportunity. It employs people. It makes the younger generation very happy. It creates new kinds of opportunities.
Do you think that has played a big role? And of course, it has to come in with a sense of some space being created for this industry, isn't it? So there's space definitely that's been created, but the younger generation, this generation, is very experiential. They want to go for luxury, they want to go for travel, they want to go for live experiences. Do you think it's a generational shift that's also made a huge, huge difference?
Yes, Kritsween, the reason why it's making this kind of impact and why it's growing in the post-COVID scenario is because people don't get satisfied with merely the digital. They want the experience, they want the feeling of being with others who are enjoying the band. As I said, the main thing that if Mr. Modi is certain about this, he needs to get government out of the way, make sure that neither the police nor the petty bureaucrat on the spot is extracting what they do. You really can create a fantastic new industry. India is the only country in the world which has this growing young population. They are the ones who enjoy it. And remember one more thing, that it's not just the young. There is huge room for nostalgia type stuff where people of an older generation, which is also a growing cohort in India, will want to go and listen to
Can I just use this as an opportunity to cite Bryan Adams' concert, for instance, as an example? Even Coldplay, I thought, going by the visuals alone, and unfortunately I couldn't make it to one of those, neither now nor back in 2023, and that's on my list surely. But, you saw the entire family together participate and enjoy and dance their way through. So there is some sort of shift that we're seeing. But Shailendra, since you've been tracking this growth story for India, there was a time that these live experiences, concerts were limited to Delhi, Mumbai, for instance. Now they're slowly moving to cities like Shillong, Pune, Hyderabad, new corners that we see these musical experiences reach in our country. So there has to be some change in infrastructure, some space we've created for it, something that's worked in our favor. What is that one thing that's worked for us that's ensuring that this only continues to expand as an experience, as a concept, and should we not use it to our advantage more?
So you hit the nail on the head. I signed Coldplay a decade ago. This is the first time I'm saying that on TV with Live Nation. And I think it was premature to bring him. Everybody got scared. With Sunburn, we had a collaboration with Tomorrowland. And the promoter said, Shell, do you really want to bring Tomorrowland to India? Do you think India is ready? But I think in 2025, the sun is shining. And like Dilip said, correctly, there is an issue with India, with the freebies, the 176 permission. I have to say this on your channel today, and with utmost responsibility and experience. I've done close to 5,000-6,000 events, and I'll tell you one thing, that 90% of the events, I got 30% of the permissions after the event was over. That's how it works in India. But I feel that in 2025...
But isn't that the case elsewhere, Shailendra? I mean, you must have done your research. How does it work elsewhere? We're seeing this concept out and about since the longest time.
Well, I can't take a decision on Europe and America, but I personally believe that those are sort of mature economies. India is now there. India, like I said, the sun is shining on India. The youth of India, like Dilip said, and the population per se is excited. And also now, there is no small town and big town. Okay, because of the digital exposure and the social media, everybody is exposed to this. They knew what Coldplay is going to give them before Coldplay arrived here. They knew that they're going to get once in a lifetime experience. And they didn't mind shelling out 25,000, 75,000 rupees. 80% of people in Ahmedabad flew from outside Ahmedabad.
So it's the personal experience, Mr. Dilip. Do you think Coldplay has been able to ensure that the same experience is going to be recreated on each and every stage in each and every nation? For instance, those bands that go with the music and, every other effect that you're seeing in these visuals that make it so spectacular that the Prime Minister couldn't help but notice. Do you think it's the experience that really counts and sets it apart?
Kritsween, the kind of energy of the crowd is the fundamental building block on which all entertainment rests. If bands try and shortchange Indian audiences and do cut-rate performances, they won't work. Indians will reject them straight away. Also, you can't do that because of this global entertainment nexus where people are seeing performances in Buenos Aires as often as they're seeing performances in San Francisco. So I think Shailendra's point that over 60% of the audience in Ahmedabad flew in indicates, and also remember that we've had very large Indian audiences fly to places like Bangkok to watch shows. So the Indian audience is willing to shell out the extra for transport and location stays where necessary. And I think, Kritsween, you made the very important point that the shift out of just metropolitan India, which in many places is overcrowded and unable to bear the burden and doesn't have the cheap staying facilities, is moving to cities. I think the Prime Minister making the point in Odisha is an example. There is a huge market in places which are underexploited, like the Shillong that you already mentioned.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's also good news for us, isn't it? Spending power, also seeing a hike, and that's what's adding to this kind of a turnout that we saw in Ahmedabad and Mumbai. Shailendra, I'm sorry, that's all the time we have, but I think there is consensus on the fact that live music has indeed found a thriving home in India. Thank you, gentlemen, for that very insightful conversation. That's all from me in this edition of Plain Speak. Over to Anand Narsiman on the right stand.
Green Lamb Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsiman, and we are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Well, the Delhi battle has intensified. There's a war of words that's escalated between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party over pollution in the Yamuna River. And this is after Arvind Kejriwal alleged that Haryana was mixing poison in the waters of the Yamuna with a deliberate intention to harm the people of Delhi. The Haryana Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini has said that if Arvind